Welcome, everybody, to Four Wide Motorsports for another night of FWM Truck Series at the Long Way Chris 100 at Kansas Speedway. Tonight, I want to welcome in our producer, Tracy Brown. Alongside me in the booth for our color announcer tonight, we have Landon Brown. How you feeling tonight, Landon?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a while since I've been in the booth, but looking forward to the Long Way Chris 100 here at the 1.5 mile trioval here at Kansas.
Well, it's nice to have you here next to me tonight. Definitely cool changing up some things, having different announcers in here, getting to know everybody, getting to see how everybody works together. So definitely a nice night to sit next to you here. As we're going to get ready here, we're going to go through our starting field. We have Bobby Hall Jr. starting on pole tonight in row 1. Matt Greenier in second. Row 2, we will have Stephen Luttrell in the 36 car starting third. Hunter Carlson starting fourth. Row 3, we have Joseph Phelps starting fifth. Sixth, we have Alex Healy. Row 4, we will have seventh is Austin Cansdale. In eighth, we have Zachary Patano. In row 5, we have Ron Walters in ninth. And rounding out your top 10, we have Art Milne in the 15 car.
And stepping up in the 11th spot, we have Byron Bartlett, also a late model driver in FWM, I believe. 12th on his outside, Joe David. And his inside, one row back, will be Paul Dillon in 13th. His outside will be Tyler Audrey in 14th in the 54. Nick Biddy in the 1 starting 15th, with Austin Pack in the 81 to his outside. Harry Duguay in the 41 in 17th. Alice Sunderman in 18th. Harold Rothery in 19th. And rounding out your top 20 would be Benjamin Hollabaugh.
As you see here, we got a full field here for the Truck Series at Kansas. In row 11, Charles Chooch Oberg in 21st. Emmett Crow starting up in the Truck Series here with FWM in 22nd. Chris Golden in 23rd. Skylar Herod in 24th. Yogi Schlier in 25th. And on his outside, rounding out your field, in 26th, Daniel Mindfu Jones. And we will get the field set here. Yeah, for sure. This is going to be a good show here for everybody at home. As we see, we got the pace car coming out of turn 4 there. These guys are getting stacked up, getting double file lined up, ready to go, getting set to go green here as we will have our last caution pace lap. And we're going to get ready to go green here shortly. As we see, I believe Bobby Hall Jr. here, a new driver with FWM, as I do not recall seeing him. So definitely nice to see some new faces up front here, especially starting on the pole.
Yeah, and speaking of new faces, I just want to make a note with Emmett Crow making his truck start. It's been a long time since he's been in one of these races. Usually, he's up here in the booth with us, and so it's nice to see him out there taking his shot at the FWM Truck Series.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Landon. It's definitely something different to see one of the guys that we're used to sitting next to here in the booth, jumping in one of these cars or trucks with FWM and joining in the race. So we give them good luck out there. Do your best, and let's see what you got, and let's hope for a good race here tonight. As we got the pace car lights off, just want to give a shout out. Everybody, please work with me here. This is my first night being lead announcer. I know Landon's been out of the booth for a while, so we're both going to do our best here for the show for you guys. So work with us. We're doing our best, and we're going to get ready to go green here.
And they're green. Bobby Hall with a good start on that inside.
As you see here, lap 1 of 110 for the Long Way Chris 100. We got Bobby Hall just getting a little bit of a jump, getting out there all by himself in the clean air. Got Stephen Luttrell riding right behind him, pulling up in the second place. As you see, the outside lane falling back just a little bit, but still staying with arm's reach.
Yeah, Stephen Luttrell right on the bumper of Bobby Hall. Stephen Luttrell is one of those guys we've seen fast forever since he's been in FWM, so he's going to be a contender up here at the front. and everybody seems to be double file behind them. Everybody else side by side racing, and it looks like somebody might try to shoot it 3 wide down here next to Hunter Carlson.
Yeah, Landon,
Not
I'm
quite gonna get there.
not too sure on this track. I believe I had just purchased this track, so I haven't really gotten to run on it. I don't know if you have, but if you have, what is your take on this track of how tonight's going to play out?
I've only ran this track in the Xfinity car, but it wears tires really, really bad from my experience. So I'm sure you're going to see a lot of people taking some tire gambles here in this race because you got to really take care of them. And if you don't do a good job at that, you're going to find yourself in the back.
Okay, so there you got it. From a little bit of experience with the Xfinity cars here, truck's a little bit different. So these guys are going to have to manage their tires, play their cards out right with pit strategies. We could have our producer put up our details for tonight's race. As you see here, we got 110 laps, 168 miles these guys will go in the race length. We have no stage break tonight, 3 tire sets in the pits, 2 fast repairs, and 2 green-white checkered attempts. So these guys got a little bit, I think, pretty good amount of tires to be able to manage it for 110 laps here. I'm not sure what the fuel consumption is. So fuel and tires might come into it. As Landon, you said, you know, this track will eat up tires. So I'm sure we'll see some good pit stops. So far, we're on lap 5 of 110, and not a caution yet. So definitely looking like a better race this week here with FWM.
100%. And just looking at the timing and scoring, I believe it's showing Austin Pack has made up 6 positions in these first 5 laps. So Austin Pack, a hard charger through the field right now. So look for him to be up at the front here soon.
Yeah, Landon, I want to say these guys here, you know, there's a bunch that we always talk about every week, week in and week out, between the late models, the trucks, and the ARCA. There's a bunch of drivers here that we say you cannot count out. And I will say the last few races, we could not make a call on who was going to win it. These guys just put on an absolute show here with FWM. It's just overall amazing racing here. So these guys are definitely going to put pressure on each other. Hopefully not too aggressive tonight. As we've seen in recent races, we did have caution fest, but we believe we've taken care of the situation, got everybody to race with some more respect and a little cleaner. So I think we're going to see a good show here tonight with the Truck Series.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very interesting to see these new guys like Bobby Hall come in and be able to put it on pole and lead the first few laps of these races when you have these guys that we've been seeing week in and week out run up front and grab pole and win races. So it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out in the end because sometimes the new guys come in, steal a little thunder, and the guys don't really like it so much that have been racing here for a while. So they're going to be charging a little harder than maybe they might would if it was somebody else that has been here a while or they knew more personally.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, you know, we've had a bunch of newcomers here as FWM is growing amazingly and rapidly. I think quicker than we can really try to handle. I know we have great admins here. I myself being one, doing the best I can here for 4Wide Motorsports. You know, we're just growing so rapidly with everything we're doing here. It's just an amazing league, and these guys just coming in. We thank them for their support, you know, coming in and racing with us and everything we got going on. So, you know, it is nice to see new faces. And I'll tell you what, some of these new faces have been putting the challenge on for our regular OG drivers here. And it's kind of stepping things up to change up points and standings here, that these guys are trying to do better. And, you know, they're giving it all they got.
100%. And as we see, Luttrell and Hunter Carlson are going out of here for the second spot, and Luttrell gained a little ground on Hall, but once Hunter stuck his nose under there, it kind of drug them both back a little bit from the leader and gave Hall some breathing room. But now Hunter neck and neck with Stephen Luttrell down the front stretch, and we may see a pass for second here, and looks like Phelps is going to join in on this too.
Yeah, those two right there coming back to admins, Landon. Look at that. Hunter moving up just a little bit.
Ooh.
I don't know if he got a little tight.
Yeah,
He
it looked like
may have
his
not.
car lost a little handling there.
Yeah, may have not made contact, but it was definitely close. And those two, I mean, they put on a show together. Those are two of FWM's admins here, and they do such a great job. And, they come in here, they're fast runners with FWM. So those two are going to be ones to watch here tonight also.
100%. Hall now to about 1.5, 2/10 of a second lead. Phelps has passed Carlson and has gained another 2/10 on him. So Carlson has lost quite a bit of time here, now sitting in the 4th position with Healy behind him and Patano looking for that spot behind him as well. Ansdale up to 8th, so he's now moved 8 spots up in the field in just the first 12 laps of this race.
Yeah, check that out. Austin Cansdale finally able to make it back here for one of the FWM shows. Getting back into racing here. I know he's been away for a little bit, but definitely looking good out there, putting on some real good laps, sitting in 8th position here tonight. And we all know Austin Lucky Cansdale, he's going to try to make it up there and put a good showing on.
The Hall is stretching out that lead just a little bit more. It's ever so slightly. A lot of these races like this, you don't gain a lot of time in one lap. Usually it's 100th or so every lap, and it's just those little bitty increments that you take away from the drivers behind you and just try to rack them up as much as you can and hope a caution doesn't come out and diminish it. But we look and see, looks like Carlson's coming back that spot. He's looking inside. He's gained some time, and Luttrell has fallen back a little bit, and he may lose another spot right here as the 79 is looking his inside.
Yeah, definitely looking like Hunter may have found his line. And I'll tell you what, Landon, this isn't usual for Hunter. We're not used to seeing him on that inside lane. He's usually one to be up top in that outside lane. So maybe trying something different tonight to put some pressure on these guys and give them a challenge. As we could see earlier, it wasn't working out too well. Oh, as you can see, gets a little tight, just grabbing the wall. So something changing up with his driving line, maybe trying to find a faster line here with the trucks at Kansas. Just definitely not a usual sight, but still holding a good position. And look at that strong run he's putting on Steven Luttrell right now.
Oh, yeah, that outside line has the momentum, but Luttrell might dive it down in here into the corner. I'm not sure. Oh, not quite. I think Hunter's still going to have him cleared. I don't know. Steven's still got a nose. He's going to dive down onto the apron.
Yeah, looking like a Danny Michelle move here, as we're used to seeing in ARCA, driving down there by that grass, just barely right on the line of track and lawn care there. Steven Luttrell trying something out, trying to find that fast move to make a move on Hunter, but just doesn't have enough as Hunter comes down on the inside of the 57 here at Joseph Phelps, makes the pass with the 79 of Alex Healy following him. Steven Luttrell in row right there. And these guys are pretty much under a blanket and trying to make them moves.
Yeah, it looks like Phelps just kind of got freight train down there on the bottom, and he might lose 3 or 4 spots with that move.
I will say, so far, so great, Landon. I'm very happy to see these guys not being aggressive early on in the race here as we're coming to lap 19 of 110, and we're caution-free so far.
57 got in the back of the 79 there down that straightaway. I'm not sure if that was a checkup or what, but he put the nose to the bumper there for sure. He jacked him up a little bit.
Yeah, we will see sometimes like that. You get a run, whether it's a run in or a checkup a little bit. Thankfully, these aren't like the late models where it picks the rear up and just sends it loose. So thankfully, these guys can keep it under control and just keep it rolling green flag.
Yes, we're already a 1/6 of the way done with this race. These guys have been putting down some good fast laps, pretty clean. We've seen some hard moves here down to the apron and down to the corners and not letting out down the straightaways, but they've all seemed to be able to hang on to it and keep everything clean. And so that's what we like to see right here. And hopefully we'll be able to see some pit strategy in play under green flag conditions.
Yeah, as I take a look here, Landon, I'm looking at the YouTube chat here. We want to thank you guys all. We have 9 people watching right now. We appreciate yous. It definitely means a lot for Four Wide Motorsports and Four Wide Motorsports Network here. We definitely thank you for coming out, being with us as we have our
Oh,
first
the
caution on lap 21.
66 going through the grass. Let's take a look at what happened there. The 66 rolling on the apron after taking a slide through the grass.
Yeah, that would be the 66 of Byron Bartlett. As we're going to take a look back at our replay here, and we'll see what caused this caution to come out.
Looks
Okay,
like somebody
so
may have lost connection, but I can see it here, and it looks like Byron may have gotten into the 113. I believe that may have been Paul Dillon. It is Paul Dillon. So the 66 got into the rear of Paul Dillon and put him in the wall, and Byron went sliding down the grass across the start-finish line. So I believe that one may have been on Byron Bartlett.
here we go. As we see, yeah, we're looking at the 66, looking like he just came down just a little bit, catching Paul Dillon's rear corner of the truck there, sending him up into the wall, and that would send him spinning down into the grass.
And the 9 almost getting a bad end of that as well.
Yeah, that's one thing. You know, we don't like to say it here. I'm not gonna say it, but you know, these cautions. You know, it's unfortunate that sometimes, you know, you're just in the racing lane there, and it just ends up that somebody ends up coming down in front of you, and it collects more than one person, which sadly sometimes interrupts the night for somebody. But luckily, I believe, if I remember correctly, we have 2 fast repairs. So hopefully these guys don't need them tonight. Yes, we do have 2 fast repairs tonight. So as you can see, these guys are starting to take tires already, as we're only 23 laps at
everybody
110.
came down the pit road.
Yeah, might be taking that splash of fuel. And then as you can see, it looked like some guys were just taking right sides there.
Yeah, there were
so
a few fast pit stops.
Yeah, these guys are definitely going to try and get out there quick, get their spots back, hopefully move up a couple spots. Landon, as the caution came out, I was looking at chat here. We have Dana Rothery in the house saying hello. So we say hello there to you. Thank you for joining, coming out and watching. William Luttrell is back once again watching the Stephen Luttrell 36 truck here tonight. Always here, always supporting FWM. We appreciate you here. So thank you to that Stephen Luttrell fan club being in the house here. We have Buckeye Dana saying greetings. Appreciate you being here. And we got league owner Wayne Cannon in the house here and broadcast in the chat saying send word to Hunter. No holding back on penalties tonight. So there it is. We got the league owner sending word to the race control saying, hey, we ain't holding back on penalties, so make sure everything gets taken care of the way it needs to be. And we know Hunter does his best here, and you know he does a good job at what he does, because I will give him credit, Landon. I couldn't race and race control at the same time.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, and as it appears right now, it does seem like Byron Bartlett was given the EOL from Hunter Carlson as a penalty for that caution, so he will start in the back. And this is going to be interesting right here. As we're a little less than a quarter of the way done, you're going to start seeing some pit strategies into play, some different tires, and some different fuel strategies, and we'll see who's able to make their way up to the front before the next caution comes out, if there even is another one. We still have a chance at some more green flag pit stops.
Yeah, okay,
Sounds
words
like
from
Emmett
our
Crow.
producer. We got Emmett Crow. I think it's Terry Duguay.
Yeah, Terry Duguay and Byron Bartlett all got EOLs as they are going back green.
And as we come back here to the long way, Chris 100, we are back green flag racing. As you see, Bobby Hall Jr. jumping out to the lead with lap 25 of 110 here. These guys are all side-by-side racing, probably going to single out and just get in line, pull that draft a little bit. I'm not sure how drafty the trucks are. I know I did run them here, but I haven't ran them at Kansas, so I don't know how it is on this track. But as you can see, these guys are just trying to make moves here, getting behind one another as they start to single out.
Yeah, a big part of the truck series is the amount of horsepower that these trucks have. They're not going to have a ton of power compared to something like an Xfinity or a Next Gen. So you're going to see a lot of guys running these top lanes with the trucks because you need all the momentum you can get. Sometimes that inside lane will come in, but that's why you're able to see these guys hang so well on the outside in these trucks compared to watching maybe the Next Gen race or Xfinity or even some of the ARCA races for an example. So it's all a game of momentum. Who can keep in the gas pedal without causing a caution and being sent to the back. That's what this racing is all about.
Oh yeah, for sure. As I'm taking a look here, we got Steven Luttrell up to second. Austin Lucky Cansdale in the 33 truck sitting up there in third place, making one comeback here as he returns to FWM, being able to actually jump back in the truck.
There. Somebody's off the pace.
And as you see here on the screen, we got our top five sitting there. Bobby Hall Jr. in the lead, Steven Luttrell second, Austin Lucky Cansdale in third, Nick Biddy in fourth, and Hunter Carlson up to fifth. As I look here, it's looking like I see Nick Biddy is up 11 spots since the start of the race. Our biggest mover so far is Skylar Herod, up 15 spots so far.
And it's still interesting because even after all the pitch strategies and everything like that, Bobby Hall Jr., Steven Luttrell, Cansdale, Carlson, they've all still been able to be up at the front. A lot of guys will sacrifice a few positions to make their pitch strategies work, but these guys, they pick their pitch strategies and they still get to be up front. So, it's hard to take picks still this early, but I have to say it's probably going to be one of these top five that's going to be there at the end, if nothing crazy doesn't happen.
Yeah, taking a look here, it's showing Chris Golden, the black flag and a meatball tag on his name. We got Steven Luttrell. Our timer is actually going wild here. I'm trying to follow it.
Moving.
Yeah, because at first I seen Cansdale was up on pole and Hunter was in second, but that is not how it is as we got our timer reset here. But I'm still showing Chris Golden with the black flag and being a lap down.
Yeah, I am noticing that. Not sure what happened there. Maybe there might have been two wrecks at the same time, and we just happened to catch the one with Bartlett. I'm not sure, but I know I did see a car off the pace earlier, but I thought it was Nick Biddy that got into the wall earlier and slowed down. It could have been a different truck, but it looked like those same colors. I saw it for just a brief second, but it didn't look like anything came out of it. But possibly something happened there with that 86 truck.
Yeah, I'm totally unsure as I'm looking here at our session events. It was showing his meatball flag, and then he was towed to the pits. And then he had just exited pit lane now, so it's looking like something must have happened there. Maybe he was the one that got into the wall a little bit, getting some damage, and had to tow that he couldn't drive it back to pit road and taking his first fast repair of the night.
Potentially so. Nick Biddy has made his way back up to second, though, so if that was him I caught a glimpse of getting into the wall earlier, he's made up a ton of spots in just a little bit of laps. So Nick Biddy showing some speed here towards the middle of this run. Luttrell still in third, Cansdale in fourth. Carlson has fell down to sixth now, and Pat back down to 11th.
Yeah, looking like a great race here. We got a bunch of front runners, fast runners up here. Looking like about your top 10, and they are just spreading away from the rest of the field, as it looks like we have three separate packs of trucks here. The first pack just putting on an absolute gap in between there. Look at Austin Pack. He's 3 seconds behind. and then it just goes on from there. And everybody from first to ninth being within the 0 to 1 second range from each other.
Yeah, there was a bit of hard contact down that straightaway with Pack in the 81 and the 79. Not sure what was going on there. I think Pack just had a run and had nowhere to go, and instead of checking up, he just decided to push the guy and help him out with his lap times a little bit.
Yeah, I will say, I don't know, Landon, how much you've been watching broadcast here or following the FWM races here. I know you've been really busy over there with Leadfoot Racing. Doing a great job over there, by the way. I watched your stream last night. You guys are definitely putting on a good show, some good entertainment, some great racing. So I don't know how much you've been following here, but I will say, we got, I think it was about like 6 of the same team here with Nick Biddy. They're with the Sisk Speed Shop. And these guys have been coming in here and just challenging some of our OG drivers that are used to being up front and really putting on a show and just pulling them wins and being able to take the checkered flag. But these guys came in and they've just figured something out, and they've been putting on some good racing here with FWM. And as you see, Nick Biddy up to third, putting
Tyler
up 12
Harris just got
spots.
put in the wall.
Yeah,
Another
unfortunate
Speed
there.
Shop driver by the 94. That's Bobby Hall Jr. Yeah, he put the 3 into the wall. I don't know if he got tight there or what. Oh! Yeah, tough hit for the 3 in that Speed Shop truck, as we were just talking about those drivers. And to go back to your point, yeah, I haven't been able to watch a lot of the broadcast, but I know from my experience in the ARCA cars, Caleb Sisk himself has definitely put up a challenge in that series. So it's really interesting to come out here and see the rest of the Sisk Speed Shop guys put on a show, as they're 3 wide back here near Alex Healy.
Yeah, actually, Nick Biddy being your most recent winner here in FWM in the ARCA series. As we see these guys going 3 wide.
They are door banging.
Yeah, just some tight racing there, a little bit of pushing coming in through the corner and on exit. These guys are trying to make way and run with each other. But unfortunately, the truck just not handling the way they need to. And it could be the difference in tire wear with each other. I'm not sure if they have different stints depending on what lap they pitted. As we've seen, mostly everybody pitted together there. I'm seeing from 18th on back on different lap stints on the live timing here. So not much of a difference with pit strategy, depending on what tires they took, what tires they didn't take. So that could change things up here between the drivers.
100%, and they are racing right now. We're on lap 40 of 110, and it feels like we're on lap 100 of 110 right now with these guys in this backpack. They've been trading paint for the past 5 or 6 laps while we've been talking up here, and I can't help but think we're going to see some fireworks here in just a few laps.
Oh yeah, and I will say, I mean, most of the time these guys are a little aggressive in the beginning of the race. We had breeding cautions in previous races, but I'll tell you what, I'm proud of these guys tonight. Coming into Kansas here, we're on lap 41, coming to lap 42 there as they cross the start-finish line, putting down another lap here the long way. Chris 100. These guys are just doing amazing. 1 caution here so far. So I want to give kudos to these guys, doing a great job here and putting on a great show. Even with the little bumping and banging they got going on, they're definitely doing a great job at handling this race.
Yeah, absolutely. See the 16 diving down to the inside of the 57. He's going to make a move. Everybody else pretty much single file right now. I think they've kind of gotten back in their rhythm. Everybody's kind of got out of the whole 3 wide ordeal. And like I was saying earlier, this is a tough track. It's a fun track to race, but it's a tough track because tire wear is pretty bad, and we've already seen Colton. A lot of these guys have been struggling with some tight off on the exit and rubbing doors, and unintentionally putting people into the wall and in tight positions. And I think that's what's going to make this such a good race. Is you're going to have to see who can conserve those tires the best, who can keep that momentum up in these trucks, like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, it seems like I said, everybody's sort of found their rhythm right now. Not too much going on. I think they figured out their issues, and so hopefully we'll be able to see some green flag pit stops here, because I'm interested in seeing what these guys' pit strategies are with these wearing tires.
Oh yeah, for sure, Lynn, and I think it's going to get good here as we see the 57 pushing up a little bit there, getting into the 16, a raw 3. So you can see the tires are starting to wear a little, giving that little bit of a push as they try to manage the corners there. So I will say, I think green flag pit stops is really going to put on a challenge for these guys to either decide, hey, I need to go in now and go in early, or do I need to go in later? So that's going to change things up here. Landon, taking a check on the chat here for our buddy Chris Golden. Wayne Cannon said Chris is having brake pedal issues. Joshua Tressler confirming that also. Wayne Cannon, Tracy for our producer, if we could get a check on our buddy Emmett Crow here for his first race back here with FWM. I'll tell you what, so far this guy's doing a great job, trying his best to stay out there and run with these boys as he just joined back in, jumping in and belting up, suiting up in this truck here. So he said, if we go 50 laps and Emmett ain't brought out a caution, that guy will need a shout out. Well, Cannon, we're coming to lap 50 or 48. So we're almost right there to the lap 50. So I'm just going to say it now. I mean, I'll give that shout out. Good job, Emmett. You're doing great tonight. Haven't brought out a caution on your own yet. And you're powerhousing through there as much as you can. So that's awesome to see. Good job out there. As we see, we got also Autry Motorsports is saying the 54 car DNF phone fell and knocked the shifter into second, and the motor went boom. So unfortunate for Tyler Autry tonight. Had a little mess up there in his sim rig and dropping the shifter into second and blowing up the truck. Wayne Cannon saying number 36 up front. How about that? So as we take a look, Stephen Luttrell is on the pole. Got a little bit of a gap, just over half a second ahead as we get our second caution of the night as we come to lap 49 of 110 here at the Longway Chris 100.
Nick Biddy. Oh, Nick Biddy in the one. He was running super well there. Not sure what happened. Let's take a look back at that. Uh-oh. Let's see. He sent it down into the turn pretty hard. This may be another incident of somebody getting tight on exit, and no.
Ooh.
Wow. What happened there? It looked like, I don't know.
Looked like a strong checkup. Not sure if it was the brake pedal or maybe an accidental downshift.
It could have been another Tyler Autry situation. I'm not sure, but it looked like the one just slowed down tremendously. And the 77. Oh man, what a hit! Oh
yeah,
my
taking a big hit.
Yeah, I think Nick Biddy broke loose there on the racetrack just a tad bit, and the 77 not prepared for it and absolutely wiped him out. Oh, what a hit into that wall! That might just I don't know. I guess Nick Biddy still has a faster pair, but that could have really messed up his pit strategy for this race, and he's probably gonna have to fight back pretty hard to get back up there.
Yeah, for sure. As I don't believe Nick Biddy would have been taking a fast repair at all. I don't recall anything happen to him, so he should still have two left here. As we see everybody come down pit road, pretty much the whole field on pit road, getting their servicing, taking their tires, taking their fuel. As you see Stephen Luttrell there, looking like he's going to win the race off of pit road.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to talk about earlier when we were mentioning Wayne Cannon, talking about Luttrell getting his way up to the lead. Luttrell is one of these guys we've seen week in and week out. He's been one of the best in FWM for both tire saving and pitch strategy, and so for him to have the opportunity to do both here at this racetrack that wears tires so well and not have any issues so far, uh, the odds are in his favor right now. So I think Luttrell is going to be in contention for that win, no doubt. He's been one of the best to do it ever since we've started. I know from experience racing with him, he's outran me a bunch of times on pit strategy calls that I personally didn't think would work, and he finds a way to make them work. It's quite uncanny, but he finds his way to make his way through the field and show everybody who's boss with the tire saving. So I'm interested to see what he's got.
Oh yeah, for sure, Landon. Stephen Luttrell here. He's ran the late models with us. He's been running the trucks. He runs the ARCA. Luttrell being one of these front runners that we're used to seeing up front here, definitely is very smart with his pit strategy, tire saving, even fuel saving. Because I know some of these races we do run into fuel consumption issues here, so these guys got to pit, take some extra fuel so they can make it to the end of the race. Some unfortunate events have happened here where drivers have ran out of fuel coming to the checkered flag. So I will say Stephen Luttrell definitely has got his game on here with FWM in any series he runs, and he's always been up front there. I know some unfortunate events, getting caught in some accidents has ruined his runs here a couple nights, so definitely going to be one to watch here for you guys at home viewing this show. Stephen Luttrell up there on the pole as the pace car sends it down pit road. We come back to the restart zone, and we are back green flag racing of lap 52 of 110 at the Longway Chris 100. Stephen Luttrell getting the jump off that start there, pulling out to the lead, and going to take these guys down into turn one.
Yeah, as we see Bobby Hall neck and neck with the 20, but it looks like the 20 is going to make that inside line work. Apparently that top side not going to have quite the momentum that Hall was hoping for. Like we were mentioning earlier, he will drop down to the third spot, but nothing too crazy going on in this restart. We see a lot of times after pit stops, a lot of people on different strategies aren't expecting people to drive into the turn as deep as they are or let off as early as they are, and you see a lot of checkups and pileups and cautions after some of these pit stops, but everybody seems to be rolling pretty well so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. As I want to take a look at one of our drivers here, making one of the best moves here, moving up through the field little by little. A guy that we're normal to seeing. He comes in, runs practice as soon as he can, gets some laps in. Never puts a qualifying lap down here with FWM. Always starts at the rear of the field. Daniel Mindfu Jones. He is up 16 positions from the start of this race, just making his way up through the field. Running from the 4Wide Motorsports team here out of Wilmington, North Carolina. This guy's just putting it on for these guys here and just making his way up through the field.
Yeah, he's one of those quiet contenders. I believe he had some real life experience running some four-cylinder cars, I believe, at New River Speedway. I guess it's Coastal Plains now. But he's been one of those quiet drivers. If you look back at his stats, it says he has 3 top 5s and 8 starts. So he has almost top 5s in almost half of his starts here in the truck series, and he's a guy that you don't hear his name a whole lot, but he finds a way to be there at the end. So you can't count him out either. And it's funny you mentioned that. He really doesn't put down a qualifying time, and he loves passing cars. That's what he loves to do, and well, he's proven right now that he's all for doing it. He has no problem with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you said it best. He loves passing cars, whether it be, any series here with FWM. Like I said, he does not put down a qualifying lap ever. And he always starts at the tail of the field, and he tries his best to drive it up through the field, getting stuck in some unfortunate events that has called a couple of his races way too early. But, I mean, look at here. He's coming up through that field, and he's just hunting down every position that he can, as he was going to try and take it 3 wide there. They spread a little out, and he's going to keep it in there. He's going to follow up behind Hunter Carlson there as Hunter's trying to make some moves, passing the 16 of Harold Rothery here. as he takes it down to the inside. Again, not a usual sight for Hunter Carlson. Is it? Oh, hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully he keeps it there because it looked like a little tight to put it up in the top side.
Yeah, it looked like Carlson just made, I'm not going to call it an aggressive move, but, you know, a hard push there into the turn. And I did think it was going to be just a tick too much for his truck to hold on to there, but he made it work, and him and Pack got squared away relatively easily. But yeah, but just like you said, this is a rare sight for Hunter Carlson. But you know what? It's not a rare sight. Stephen Luttrell still holding that lead. Once Stephen Luttrell once he gets that lead, he does not like to give it back. So he's got the pole sitter for tonight, Bobby Hall Jr., behind him, and he's pretty much just been, I guess you would call it, yo-yoing with the field, you know, kind of letting Hall catch up to him, and when it gets close, pull back away, let him get close again. And that's one of those tire saving techniques that we see a lot from guys, is they don't want to get too big of a lead. Because then they don't know how hard to push the truck or how hard everybody else is pushing. So you got to keep them in your rearview mirror and kind of see what the field's doing and what the pace is looking like behind you. And Luttrell is just one of those guys that's the best at doing it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Stephen Luttrell really putting it down here tonight, holding that lead as we come on lap 60 of 110 here at Kansas with 4Wide Motorsports Truck Series tonight. I will say Stephen just putting on a show out there, holding it down, just bringing that field around every turn, every straightaway, and just trying to hold on to that lead the best he can. And I will say he ain't going to give that lead up very easily. These guys are definitely going to have to put their skills to the test and make it work. With 50 laps to go here, taking a check back with our buddy Emmett Crow, giving him a shout out. Great job so far, buddy. You're not last, you're not first, but you haven't spun out. You haven't brought out a caution. You're doing great, buddy. We love to see you out there. We miss having you up in the booth here, but great job out there running that Crowfoot Hat Company and Golden Racing 67 truck from Chattanooga, Oklahoma with the ECM team. So looking pretty good out there, Emmett. Doing a great job, doing the best you can. So hopefully the rest of the race goes this good for you and you get to finish the race. As we take a look here, we got Hunter Carlson back on the outside, taking that top lane, trying to make it work, to make those passes. Still putting in the work there. A little bit of change up as we can see. I mean, Hunter's been taking different aspects here to this track, and I mean, he has been making it work, just picking off one by one. After that pit stop, looking like he fell back a little bit in the spots, but definitely trying to put it on and make his way back up there.
100%. One thing I want to point out is, I believe in practice and qualifying, the track may have been in the mid-80s, and the track temp right now is 93. So although the sun has set and the lights are on here at the track temp has done nothing but pick up. And a lot of times that will mess with these guys' tires, and you know, may catch them off guard, and it could be a contributing factor to seeing some of these guys fade back that we haven't seen fade back as much in the past. This may just be one of those tracks where that temperature change is that just catches them off guard.
Yeah, track changing, track temps definitely play a role here on how the trucks just handle, how you change your lane of running. I mean, as you can see there, you know, Nick Biddy running that low line definitely came up the track 2 lanes pretty much. And now he's up there at the wall, so might be having some tire wear issues. The truck might be tightening up here. So it's definitely changing things up for everybody. You know, these guys are going to really have to play out their pit strategies, as some of them only have maybe 1 or 2 sets of tires left, depending on what they've taken already. With that being said, I do want to throw up here quick for everybody at home. We do have an opportunity for everybody. If you would like to sponsor a race here at 4Wide Motorsports, we have different available packages, and I know we have a bunch of races open yet. whether it be the ARCA series, the late model, or the trucks. We have the race name sponsor, which you get your name to sponsor the race, such as the Long Way Chris 100 here tonight at Kansas. You got the pole award sponsor, the green flag, caution flag, white flag, checkered flag, and you can also do a full bundle of a full race sponsorship, which gives a little bit of an incentive to our drivers here. If they win the pole in qualifying, they get $5 to them and $40 goes to the league bank, just to help out with setting up the sessions and everything like that, to help out with Four Wide Motorsports here. We really appreciate anybody. If you're interested and you want to reach out to help Four Wide Motorsports out here, feel free to join the Discord if you're not already in it, and reach out to an admin. We can get you set up with your sponsorship, and you'll get to see your name up here on the broadcast. With that being said, I would like to take us to a break, so stick with us here. You can still watch everybody race, and we'll be right back with you in a minute. Welcome back here to 4Wide Motorsports Truck Series at the Long Way Chris 100 at Kansas Speedway here tonight. As we see, we got some of our leaders coming in for green flag pit stops with 31 laps to go in this race. Stephen Luttrell was your leader coming in, as we see the right side getting jacked up there, as he'll be taking at least 2 tires. As we're taking a look at Hunter Carlson also. Yep. Stephen Luttrell only taking right sides here, getting some fuel. Hunter Carlson just taking left sides, probably a splash of fuel, and they are heading back out on the track as we have the 57 of Joseph Phelps in the pit road there. Austin Cansdale coming back out on the track. So here we got things switching up here in the race. These guys are playing different pit strategies, as you got Bobby Hall Jr. on the pole leading the pack here. Well, maybe not. As our timing is getting switched around from everybody pitting and coming back out on the track. So we're very sorry about that. As we see, I'm gonna guess that Stephen Luttrell is taking back over the lead.
I believe so. And you know, here in this race with only 30 laps to go, you've pretty much made your bed and it's time to lay in it. So this right here, what we've been seeing with these green flag pit stops, could very well be the race for the win here with just 30 laps to go. A lot of trucks going to be pretty spaced out, so probably not a lot of chance for a caution. So if these guys like Hall and Patano and Cansdale, if they want to give Luttrell a run for his money, they're going to have to pick up the pace, because Luttrell is going like the wind with a 2.1 second lead right now.
Yeah, for sure. As we've seen him on pit road there, only taking 2 right side tires, maybe a splash of fuel if he needed it. Winning the race off of pit road, coming back out, other drivers coming back down into pit road. So him making the right call and still being able to take that lead back. As you see, we got Patano back up there in second. He's going to try and dig and get down to catch up to Luttrell and maybe try and make that winning move of the race here tonight. We got Hall back in third, Austin Lucky Cansdale in fourth, Matt Granier in fifth, Austin Pack in sixth, Hunter Carlson back to seventh, Daniel Mindfood Jones 18 spots up tonight here, running in 8th place. We got 9th Alex Healy, and 10th is Joe David.
Yeah, big shout out to Daniel Jones of 18 spots. A guy that's just always up there at the front at the end. And, you know, we were talking about him earlier. He's a quiet driver. Don't hear a lot out of him over the radio. You don't hear a lot out of him on the broadcast until the end, like we are now, where he finds a way to carve through the field. Got in the top 10 right now and searching for that other top 5 to go along with his other 3 on the season.
Yeah, I will say is Daniel Jones here has a little bit of a different pit stint. So he's on a different pit strategy here. But he's still trying to make them moves and do his best, you know, starting at the tail of the field on the green flag, you know. So I will say I give it to the Daniel Mindfood Jones here. The guy makes it happen somehow, and he's doing a great job out there tonight and really showing everybody that he likes to make these passes. As we come out with our 3rd caution with 25 laps to go here at Kansas Speedway for the Long Way Chris 100. We'll have to take a look back at a replay here to check out what happened.
This is something Luttrell did not want to see happen. He had built up about a 2.5 second lead, I believe, there until that caution came out. So I don't know. This could throw a wrench in all of Luttrell's plans here at the end, as it looks like the 12 is coming down pit road. An issue with him.
Yeah, unsure what really happened there. As our producer's checking for the incident, as we look back at the replay, we just seen Yogi Schlier in the 12 come down pit road. I really didn't see an incident with him there. So we're unsure so far. As our producer says, we may have an incident here, and we're going to check it out so we can get you viewers at home to know what's going on here. In the meantime, I do see Newcomb Tactics what's going on. He says in chat, hello there. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you for supporting us here at FWM. We really appreciate all the viewers. We still have 9 people out there watching.
Yeah, not sure, but we do see Latrell coming back down through the pit road, I believe. So he still had some work to do on that truck. Maybe another tire change. Maybe he took lefts this time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Landon, we saw him only take right sides that last pit stop. So coming back down pit road, kind of odd for Steven Latrell being out front, leading the pack. But he comes back in, and like you said, maybe taking them left sides, and he's saying, boys, I'm getting that lead back.
Yeah, a strategy that some guys will use is to take rights first, and then when they do take lefts, if they've been struggling tight throughout the race, I know this from running late models, usually taking left sides with some old right sides will loosen or free you up a little bit, and we've seen a lot of guys this race struggle with some tightness in their truck, so this could be a strategy used by Latrell to free up that truck a little bit and not have as much of a tight exit as some of these guys have struggled with this race.
Yeah, as we see here, we got the pace car lights off. I do want to take a look here, Landon. The number 77, one of our good buddies here in the broadcast booth. We're used to seeing him up here. I love hanging out with him on a Friday night. Charles Chooch Oberg, being up 16 spots since the beginning of this race from Westerly, Rhode Island, for his 7th start with FWM here. He's got 4 top 10s, doing a great job out there tonight. I know he tries his hardest, does his best to run up front, having some unfortunate events also here, but great showing tonight. Good luck out there, buddy, for the rest of this race. With 23 laps to go, we're going to get set back up, get these drivers stacked up, as we're going to come back, send the pace car down pit road and then we're going to be going 22 laps to go as we come back green flag, as the pace car is going to send it down pit road now, as your leader, Bobby Hall Jr., Zachary Patano in second, are going to bring the field back to the restart zone, and we are back green flag racing with 22 laps to go.
Good start there from Bobby Hall Jr. Looks like they kind of jumped to the top a little bit there. These front 4 have kind of left the rest of the field here, so not sure how aggressive they're going to make these last 22 laps. But, big wreck behind them. Huge wreck behind the field.
And this is where I'm going to say it, Landon.
5 cars spinning down the apron.
It's looking like these guys are going to turn up the aggression knob right now with 22 laps to go.
Latrell was in that wreck.
Oh boy, not good. Oh yeah, I see he's got a meatball flag. So not looking good there. Hopefully having a fast repair to get back up there. He's going to have to make some work. A heavy impact on the infield wall.
Yeah, it looked like the 3 got hooked to the right and to the wall. Could not tell who got into him. Let's see there. Oh no. Looks like Austin Lucky Cansdale may have gotten into the 3. I don't know.
Giving the 3 a good shove. As you see, Chooch Oberg pushing up the track there a little bit in front of Art Milne.
Yep.
But the 3
the 15, taking the 30.
Skylar Herod. Skylar Herod getting turned up into the outside wall there from Austin Lucky Cansdale. Sporting that Eastern Technical Designs 33 snap-on truck tonight. Just getting into Herod there, sending him up into the outside wall, collecting the 99 of Ron Walters. Hunter Carlson involved in that, sending Steve Latrell, Art Milne, and Steven Latrell getting together there, sending Steven Latrell flying down into that infield wall and getting some extensive damage there.
Yeah, and I do have some bad news. I think As what it's looking like right now, Luttrell still sitting in the pits with his hood off. I believe that meatball flag may have costed him because he had no choice but to tow, and I believe the fast repair will not be allowed until after the tow timer has counted all the way down. So Luttrell's night might be at an end here after this big one.
Yeah, and as we usually call it, we don't like to see him. You know, I know Kansas is a pretty big track, but usually we take a look at like Daytona, Talladega, and we call it the big one. But here you go for everybody at home. Here's the big one for the Long Way Chris 100 at Kansas Speedway with 4Wide Motorsports. Unfortunate night for Steven Luttrell as we see him sitting here in his pit spot, just waiting for that tow to come in and being able to take that fast repair and get back out on the track. Unsure if he's going to be able to make it back before the green flag.
Yeah, tough luck for Steven Luttrell. You know, he's a guy I've noticed in these races. Sometimes he does have some bad luck at times, and he gets in these stretches where he just can't get the monkey off his back, and it's just really, really heartbreaking to see because, as we mentioned earlier, he's always a front runner up here in all the divisions that he runs at FWM and LFRL and all the other leagues that he runs. But it does look like that fast repair has been turned on now, and Luttrell is coming out of the pits, and he may be coming out of the pits with a vengeance here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as he comes out of pit road here, we're going to see him try and catch the field as we have the pace car lights off as they come down the backstretch coming into turn 3. Steven's going to try and do what he can to make it back up there, you know, as he absolutely put on a stomping ground here tonight. I believe leading the most laps here of this race. So he's going to do his best to get back up there. As we get ready, we're getting the field stacked up, getting everybody set in line, double file here. We got Bobby Hall Jr. still on the pole, Zachary Pitano in second, Matt Greenier in third, Alex Healy in fourth, Joe David in your top 5. And we go back green flag racing. And here it is, Landon, your Chris Golden time to dig with 18 laps to go.
Yeah, Bobby Hall, he's been really good on every restart this race where he's had control, and he's been able to keep that lead there. As we see that beautiful number 20 truck, that Frosted Flakes machine. I love that truck. That's a beautiful paint scheme to see right there, Matt Grenier.
Yeah, I do want to say, Landon, I'll tell you what, these guys really put out some time, whether it's them or whether they go to a design shop. You know, these guys, sometimes they switch up their paint schemes week to week. They switch them up from series to series. I'll tell you what, we got a different showing of many different great looking paint schemes here tonight. I know some of them are the same as we're usual to seeing. As I know, like Nick Biddy, he's got his typical paint scheme on there, but still a great looking truck also from his ARCA car. So I will say I agree with you. That Kellogg's Frosted Flakes truck does look pretty good tonight.
Definitely does. And man, back here we have a hornet's nest. We have one down on the apron. Somebody off the pace there. Not sure if that's a lap car or what, but there's a hornet's nest back here with Steven Luttrell as he tries to work his way back up through the field with just 16 laps to go to make up for that huge incident. Man, they've sort of gotten it even and spread out now, but it was a hornet's nest back there for a second.
Yeah, I will say, everybody, take a look. Steven Luttrell is not done here with 15 laps to go. He's still going to put on the pressure. He's going to challenge everybody, and he says, all right, everybody, let's move it. I'm making my way back to that front position. And he's definitely putting it on out here. As you see, look at that. He was moving up, and we have our 5th caution out here on the backstretch.
That is what Luttrell wanted to see. Going from not wanting to see one to begging for one, and he got it. And that looked like a hard hit for Austin Pack and a few others involved. I wasn't able to catch it there, but I did see the 81 go around.
For everybody at home, as we take a look back at our replay here, this is not our incident, but hey, there's our buddy Emmett Crow, still out there running, doing a great job. And here we'll take a look back at the replay to see what happened here. Coming out of turn 2 onto the backstretch. As you see, you go 3 wide there. Zach Patano coming up a little bit, getting into Austin Pack.
Yeah, and I will say, watching the replay on my end, you could see Luttrell. He dove down to the bottom early. It was almost like he could see that coming ahead of him. He knew what was about to happen before it even happened. So, great job with some wreck avoidance there from Stephen Luttrell. Because there's a lot of people that, maybe didn't look as hard as that wreck, and it would have caught him off guard. But Luttrell able to see what was about to happen and go ahead and move low and give himself the best chance of surviving that. And wow. Yep.
Yeah. Landon, I'm going to call that one of these usual events that we see happening just in racing itself. I'm going to call it out as it looked like 2 racers just trying to buy the same piece of real estate, and it just wasn't for sale. So very unfortunate catching a couple people there. As I did see, Emmett Crow trying to dive it down in there on the inside, trying to dive down and just missed the whole accident and just giving a big hit to Austin Pack. So I'm not sure there. Hopefully Austin Pack has a fast repair so he can make it back out. I know he was starting to make his way up through the field. Charles Chooch Oberg, one of our buddies that we're used to seeing up here in the broadcast booth, getting an unfortunate incident out of that caution there too. So he's going to try and make it back up there also.
Yeah, and luckily for these guys, I don't see anybody with a meatball flag or a black flag right now. So hopefully everybody has at least one fast repair and they can get back on the track here. But like I mentioned earlier, I don't think a lot of people were happy to see that caution. But if there was one guy, it was Stephen Luttrell, as he's made up quite a few positions from that he doesn't have to race his way past.
Oh, yeah, that last incident, the 4th caution of the night here, really setting Stephen Luttrell back, but I guarantee he was probably gripping his wheel, screaming, please, another caution. And this is just what he may have needed to make those spots back up and get back up front here. As we see the pace car lights are off, we'll take a run through the field with your lineup as we got Bobby Hall Jr. on pole, Matt Grenier 2nd, Alex Healy 3rd, Nick Biddy 4th, Zachary Patano 5th, Daniel Mindfood Jones up 20 spots, everybody, in your 6th position here, doing just a great job coming from the tail of the field. He's just putting on a show, making his way up. 7th, we got Hunter Carlson. 8th, Benjamin Hollenball, Skylar Harrod in 9th, Joe David in 10th. 11th is Austin Lucky Cansdale. 12th, Ron Walters. 13th, Art Milne. Dallas Sunderman in 14th, Charles Chooch Oberg in 15th, 16th is Austin Pack. Emmett Crow up to 17th here, looking like he is on the lead lap. He's the last one on the lead lap. Good going there, buddy. Yogi Schleer in 18th, Harold Rothery in 19th, and your top 20 would be Terry Duguay.
Yeah, I want to say, I don't know if our timing and scoring had a little bit of a skip or what, but it is showing that Trail is 2 laps down now. I believe it was showing at first he was on the lead lap, but it appears that it's changed.
Yeah, as we go back green flag racing here, Bobby Hall Jr. back out to another lead, getting a jump off that start. Alex Healy following right in behind him, squeezing it in there between Hall and Matt Grenier. Zachary Patano taking that inside lane. Nick Biddy up top. Hunter Carlson looking at that middle lane. Maybe going to take it 3 wide. Not going to push it. He's going to hold back. And these guys, like I said before, these guys are going to turn up the aggression knob right here. And they're going to put it down as we go 10 laps to go.
Yeah, and if it wasn't the golden racing time to dig before, it sure as heck is now, as they were not playing around on that restart. We saw 2 or 3 rows trying to send it 3 wide there for 7th and 8th position. So I'm very sure just interested to see what they do for 1st position and 2nd position. They are not playing around.
Yeah, as you can see, the heat's definitely turning up here in the front of the pack. Bobby Hall Jr. just getting an extensive lead on the pack here. These guys are battling for position side by side, sometimes taking it 3 wide here. 9 laps to go in the Longway Chris 100 at Kansas Speedway in the 4 Wide Motorsports Truck Series. These guys are definitely putting it on they're going to make their last moves, try and get that top position. And what a show they're putting on here. But I will say, Bobby Hall just pulling out front there, and he's getting that extensive lead. These guys are definitely going to have to use that Chris Golden time to dig.
Yeah, and we've seen Bobby Hall on these restarts that he's controlled pull out to an extensive lead pretty much every time with Steven Luttrell. But now that Luttrell's gone, there's really nobody else that's really had anything for him on these restarts. I mean, usually, you know, you see Hunter Carlson up there. We got another caution, and Luttrell is around again. Luttrell is facing backwards on the track. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, no. Not
like
another incident for Steven Luttrell.
Yeah, it looked like 3 or 4 cars may have been involved there, possibly more. We can see if we can get the replay pulled up here.
As we get our replay set up here for the 6th caution tonight, I will say, very good job, guys, out here. You know, only going 6 cautions in 110 laps so far. Doing great. Steven Luttrell, wow, just getting a run out of turn 2 there, coming down the backstretch, jumping down a lane, looking like, I'm not sure who that is, just moving down the track there. Oh, the number 8 of Benjamin Hollenball, just coming down off of the wall a little bit, getting into Steven Luttrell's right rear, sending him up into the wall. Very unfortunate for Steven Luttrell there. I see we have 2 meatball flags. One would be our buddy Emmett Crow. Very unfortunate getting caught up in that mess. The 57, Joseph Phelps with a meatball flag here. So not looking good here for an ending of a race for some of these drivers.
Yeah, and I see it over here. Benjamin Hollbaugh on that 8, he disconnected. Luttrell has disconnected from the session. Schleer has disconnected from the session, as well as Paul Dillon has disconnected from the session. So a lot of drivers there that I think got involved that maybe didn't have one of those fast pairs left, had used up everything that they had, and that pretty much stuck a fork in their night. So very, very unfortunate, especially for a guy like Luttrell who was leading a bunch of laps in this race, and we've talked about all broadcast long this evening. And if there's been some fireworks these past 10 laps, and I'm not sure what's going to go down here with these last few laps, especially with the guys in 2nd and 3rd, knowing how good of a start Bobby Hall Jr. has gotten on all these restarts. You know, you're going to see some aggression levels pick up here, because if they don't get a run in this first turn coming out of the restart zone, they might not get another shot here.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, you know, checking out Emmett Crow here, one of our co-announcers, lead announcers here with FWM Network. Charles Chooch Oberg in the back of the pack here, doing the best they can, up to 13th and 14th here, still being on the lead lap. So it's looking for a pretty decent night for these guys that are used to sitting up here doing what we're doing right now. So I'm going to say I'm very proud of them, doing a great job out here at the Kansas Speedway, Long Way Chris 100, as we got the pace car lights out and we get the field stacked up, ready to go back green flag racing. We'll take a look here as we got Bobby Hall Jr. on your pole still, leading the pack to the restart zone. We got Nick Biddy, last week's ARCA race winner. He's sitting in 2nd there, trying to figure out if he can get that checkered flag here tonight. We got Grenier in the 20 truck. The Frosted Flakes truck looking real good out there tonight, sitting in 3rd place, been running up front all night. Hunter Carlson, race control admin here with FWM, up to 4th place, doing a great job trying to figure out if he can catch that checkered flag. Zachary Pitano rounding out your top 5 here as we get ready to send the pace car down pit road and come back green flag racing with 4 laps to go. Yeah,
I'm very interested to see. Nick Biddy has climbed up through the field quite a ways, up 13 spots to be in this position right here. And, you know, we've seen some incidents with him before, so he's going to have to be careful here. But, oh, Bobby Hall runs him up the track a little bit. And I don't know if Biddy's going to take too kindly to that.
Yeah, not sure if that was a spin on the shift maybe, or if it was, hey, you ain't taking pole. But look at this. We have an absolute 3-truck battle here. As you see, we got Matt Grenier pushing Bobby Hall Jr. down the backstretch. Nick Biddy up top with Hunter Carlson pushing him. Look at this battle, everybody. Look at these guys put it on. You're going to get the show here coming to 3 laps to go.
Yeah, and Biddy right on the outside of Hall. Is he going to make a move and say, hey, I didn't like what you did on that restart? And man, they're stacking up behind him, looking to go 3 wide. It looks like maybe even 4 wide back there. Very fitting for the league. But Bobby Hall still able to hold on to this lead, but Biddy using that high side momentum as we talked about earlier. But the 94 is going to send it down in there, and man, we have a race here with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up real quick here as we see Bobby Hall Jr. Oh, we almost have an incident with Nick Biddy running Hunter Carlson down to the infield almost. But Hunter Carlson said, nope, I'm staying right here. And these guys are definitely putting on. Austin Lucky Cansdale up there in 3rd place, trying to put on the pressure with Hunter. These guys are going to chase each other down and try and grab that checkered with 2 laps to go as we're going to come to the white flag as soon as we come out of turn 4 here. I'll tell you what, everybody at home in the broadcast, you guys are getting a show here.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to hear what was said, but there was a comment made by Nick Biddy after that incident with him going into the wall. Not sure, but part of me feels like he's not too happy there, and Bobby Hall Jr. is probably hoping he doesn't get the chance to come back to him.
Yeah, as you see here, we are on the white flag. We got cars spinning down the backstretch towards the infield, and we are not going to get a caution as we are white flag. We got Bobby Hall Jr. just out front, leading the pack back to the checkered flag. Austin Lucky Cansdale in 2nd. Nick Biddy coming down on Hunter Carlson. Hunter Carlson,
they're wrecking behind
to 3rd
him.
place, and they wreck at the checkered flag.
Wow, Nick Biddy and Hunter Carlson drag racing it for that final podium spot, and Biddy just did lose it and ended up wrecking down the front stretch, and that was a heck of a finish. I do not think the one is very happy with the 94 of Bobby Hall Jr., though. There may be some discussion held after this race.
Well, I will say I give it up to the admins here. Just so everybody knows at home, after the race, we do have our admins. They do review every incident in the race. They do discuss it. If anybody needs penalties, they are subject to them. They do hand them out. So not many cautions here tonight. A very great race. I do want to say I give props to everybody here, all the drivers putting on one show. Only, what was it, 6 cautions tonight? I believe
so. It was around there.
Yeah, so this is looking like a better race here as we see our race recap. The race has been declared over. Your winner, Bobby Hall Jr. We had 6 cautions for 18 laps tonight. 3 drivers leading the race for 6 lead changes. And Bobby Hall, your winner, taking the fastest lap here tonight with a 31.014. So great race here tonight for Bobby Hall Jr. Great race for all the guys here in the FWM Truck Series. We're going to be coming right up with your podium top 3 driver interviews. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here with you on 4 Wide Motorsports Network. Welcome back, everybody. We are here at Four Wide Motorsports with your end of the race interviews with your top three for the Long Way Chris 100 at Kansas Speedway. Down here on pit road, I am standing with your admin race control, third place finisher tonight, Hunter Carlson. Hunter, how was your race tonight?
Holy cow. Never ran the trucks here before. Well, never really ran one any kind of mile and a half. That was insane.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, you definitely had some different strategies to play here as you were up front. Then you were mid pack, back of the pack, coming back up to the front. I want to say you definitely had a great run here tonight. But what was your take on that ending of the race? Because I'll tell you what, we were ecstatic up here in the booth. You know that I want to say at least 2 laps was just a show here for the fans. So what was your take on that?
For sure, that was a show. There are things that could have been cleaned up a little bit in my eyes. I mean, in the end, we're going full throttle essentially around this place, but rubbing does happen, and it was definitely an entertaining finish for sure, especially for third between Nick and I. It was down to 9/1000ths of a second for third.
Yeah, I will say, what an ending there. Great racing. Definitely a good finish for you here. Coming back in the truck series. So anybody out there you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank our lovely Tracy Brown and Eastern Technical Designs. Thank you for everything you do here. Thank you for everything you do with Eastern Technical. I want to thank TJ Spainhour over at Studio 86. Thank you for always having my truck look good. I love having your logo on the truck. It's great. B-Main Podcast for keeping me entertained during the week. And everyone over here at Four Wide Motorsports Network. Thank you for all you guys do around here. The broadcast wouldn't be as good, nearly as good, or may not even exist without you guys. And I want to thank everyone over at Copperhead Racing.
Well, there it is, your third place finisher of the night. Hey, everybody, take a look at his truck there on the screen. We got little Tracy hanging out on the back there. We always love to see that. Our wonderful producer here of Tracy Brown just taking a ride with Hunter. And as you could see there on the front of his truck, also 2-time FWM champion, third place finisher, Hunter Carlson. And I'll send the mic over to Landon Brown down on pit road. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I've caught up with our second place finisher on the night here in the Long Way Chris 100, Austin Lucky Cansdale. Austin, show that was there, especially there with 2 laps to go. I just want you to take me through that. 2 laps to go. You made a tough move down there, a little bit of a 3-wide move. How confident were you in that? Did you feel like your truck was going to be able to handle it and you were super confident in it, or did you feel like it was just one of those do or die moments and it was going to stick or it wasn't going to stick? Just take me through that. What were you feeling?
Oh man, that wasn't actually the original plan there going into that. Me and Hunter was talking there before that restart. He said he's going to try to break this Eastern Technical Design curse, and I was like, you know what? Let's go get a 1-2 with this. And I was pushing him, and then the one got a little tight coming off the corner, and he shot down low, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I went to go low, and the one went down to go try to block him and side draft him. And I took the high line because the high line had the momentum, so I went up high and 3 wide, and I was confident it was going to stick, and it did stick. And then we got clear there, and we had the one pushing us there for the last 2 laps. Going to the corner, spotter said I think I had the gap down to Bobby up there about 0.3 seconds. And then the one started pushing me really hard into the corners, and it was really upsetting the rear getting into the corner. So I was having to burp the throttle and feather it to get the truck to settle back down where I wanted it. But all in all, I'll tell you one thing. I think my heart rate hit about 120 right there.
Yeah, well, speaking of, going up there and running that high line with the momentum, me and Colton were talking in the booth. It seems like in these trucks, not having as much power as maybe a cup car or something similar, that high line a lot of times will come in for these trucks just because of the momentum. Did you feel as though that was the case for the entire race, or do you think that the bottom was still the place to be until right there at the end? Because we were able to see some guys shoot up to the top early and middle of the race, giving it a try, but there was also some guys trying to run the bottom and make some moves down there. So, what was your take on that as far as the lines were changing and such things like that during the race?
Uh, the bottom was most definitely the most preferred line here, especially for the first like 65% of the race. The high line started coming in, but the thing is, with the bottom line, you burned up your right front a lot, so you had to kind of mixture between the bottom and the middle and the top. And then later on, when people was burning their stuffs up, the people running the high line had a better right front, so they was able to they just carry that momentum down the straightaways and going into the corners, and they was able to make it stick during the later parts of the run. And then I think the bottom just got so rubbered in at the later part of the race. Top line was just really quick there, and of course everybody's running the bottom. All the dirty air, dirty air's a big factor here, especially when everybody's going full throttle practically. So running that high line got you that clean air, got the truck to turn a little bit better, and just like I said, the momentum going down the straightaways, and then the bottom guys going from the bottom to the top, giving you that draft coming in the straightaways, just launched the truck like a cannon.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your insight, Austin. Way to put that 33 truck into second place. And before we let you go ahead and thank all your sponsors.
Well, I want to thank Tracy Brown and Eastern Technical Design for sponsoring the car. I was hoping to get a 1-2 tonight, but I guess we're going to settle for a 2-3 tonight. So we're just happy to get the old boss man two podium finishes here. I got Snap on the car, 4Y Motorsports Network, Clayton Holmes, just everybody that supports me. I want to thank my fiance for letting me do this when I can. All my best friends, Eric, Grace, Dylan, Taylor, all of them, all my coworkers, just all y'all guys, what y'all do with the broadcast. I love watching them, sitting there waiting to go into work, and just everybody that participates. We're getting better. I know the past couple of weeks we've had a really rough patch with, I think it was 21 and 31, somewhere in there, amount of cautions a couple weeks ago, and now we're starting to lock down on the penalties here. So we're trying to clean it up. I think we only had 3 or 4. One of them was my fault. From my angle, it looked like, but going back from watching the TV's perspective, it might have looked like the 3 came up on me, but I still took the claim there because I was being a little aggressive, especially on new tires there. But we're definitely trying to clean up everything around here and put out the best possible production we can do around here.
Shout out to the fiance for letting our boy Romo hang out at the track with us in these truck races and all the other divisions that he runs here. And we'll hope to see you soon back up here again, Austin.
Thank you.
Colton, who you got down there, buddy?
All right, coming back in here, taking over the mic. We are down here in victory lane with your winner of the long way Chris 100 at Kansas Speedway with 4Wide Motorsports. Newcomer here with FWM, Bobby Hall Jr. How was your race tonight and taking that win?
Why, thanks, Colton. Yeah, like I'm actually kind of shocked here. Like I was under the impression that this was like race 1 of the season, and then 2/3 through this race, my teammate said, "Oh yeah, they're like halfway through the season," and I'm like, "Oh shoot!" So I tried to race nicely, to earn my spot here. But a couple guys kind of think different. It looks like I know the one's kind of upset with me, but I mean, qualifying and practice, with long races, it all comes down to tires. You let the fast guys go first, you wait, and then you can reel them in and continue to put a gap. That's how it seemed like at the first stint. If that caution didn't come out, I think I could have started building a gap and kept it throughout the race. But the cautions seemed to fall kind of almost the end of our fuel run. And that I should have pitted probably that second to last caution like everybody else, but I took the chance and figured clean air was going to be better.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to you here, and I want to give you a warm welcome in to 4Wide Motorsports. We appreciate you joining. We love having everybody here. So welcome in here to FWM. Great run tonight. You know, I seen you started pole in the race here, winning qualifying, coming out. So leading the pack to the green flag for the first of the night. Also taking a look at our analytics here from the race. You also set the fastest lap tonight. So what a great showing for your first time being here. You know, what was your the take on those final laps there? Because I will say, you know, like I said to Hunter up here in the booth, we were totally ecstatic, and there was quite some racing being put on down there in a show for the viewers at home. So, what was your take on those last final laps?
Like I said, the biggest thing was the cautions, how they fell. I figured when the caution came out, like I said, like 3 cautions ago, I should have stayed, I should have pitted. But then as soon as we got that quick caution, I was like, shoot, you know, I should pit, take the tires, because I know you could run the top because everybody else on fresh will run the bottom. But then I seen the one, you know, started running the top earlier in the race, and he can catch everybody. But then it seemed like 15 laps later, you know, he used his stuff up, and we were able to go back by him. So I committed to the bottom, except for that last restart. I mean, he got a pretty good jump on the restart. We were side by side, and I knew he was going to enter high. And luckily, I was right at his quarter panel going into turn 3, and I was almost going to just send it to the bottom and do a slider on him. But I figured I would stay on his door to arrow, you know, try to arrow block a little bit. And I mean, we touched doors a couple, but like if he watches my replay, like I burped the gas probably 7, 8 times, so I didn't just put him in a wall. You know, I don't want to do that as a new guy. You know, I'm trying to earn my stripes, I guess you could say, in the league. And you know, I think it was pretty good. You know, talking with my team on strategy, I think that's what helped. But all in all, it was pretty good.
Well, I will say, great run here tonight, Bobby Hall. You know, like you said, you know, you want to earn your stripes here, and you know, you definitely want to do that. Everybody wants to race with respect. They want to run clean, and that's what we like to see here at 4 Wide. So I'm gonna say you did the best you could. You did a great job here tonight. Definitely being able to pull off qualifying pole and then winning the race. So I'll send the microphone over to you for anybody you'd like to thank here for this win tonight.
Thank you. First and foremost, Team Flex. You know, it's just a bunch of guys. We try to find some leagues to jump in and race as a team to have fun. You know, and there was 3 of us in here, the 79 and the 20. And who knows, maybe next week there might be another 1 or 2 just to feel the league out for next season. Of course, Earl Shop graphics and designs. You know, without him designing some cool trucks, you know, I like to be seen, so I always try to go with bright colors. Of course, Hall Racing, 4 Wide Motorsports for allowing me and the guys coming and race. You know, the fans in the stands watching racing. You know, the admins and the officials, and of course the competitors. Yeah, there was just a hair overdue on chatter, but hey, in the end, we're all trying to race like real life, and of course, it's gonna happen. And on to next week. You know, hopefully we can continue this little momentum that we started.
Well, before I send you off here, I do want to give you a shout out from our chat on YouTube. We have Joshua Tressler, a runner here with FWM. He said at least he was respectful coming in. Kudos to him. So there you go. You're getting some good positive feedback on your first showing with FWM here. But congratulations on winning the race here at the Kansas Speedway Long Way Chris 100.
Okay, well, I appreciate that comment, and who knows, maybe me and the team might be looking to collab with some team members for your next season and build on from that.
Sounds good. I want to thank you again, give you a warm welcome in here. There it is, everybody. Your winner of the Long Way Chris 100 at Kansas Speedway with 4 Wide Motorsports, Bobby Hall Jr., taking the victory lane checkered flag. with that being said, I do want to go over our race results here. As your winner, Bobby Hall Jr. Second, we have Austin Lucky Romo Cansdale. Your third place finisher, Hunter Carlson. Fourth, we have Nick Biddy. Fifth, Matt Greenier. Sixth, Daniel Mindfu Jones. Seventh, Skylar Herod. Eighth, Art Milne. Ninth, Zachary Patano. And rounding out your top 10 of the field, Joe David.
And then rounding out the rest of the field, we have Ron Walters in the 99 finishing 11th. Charles Chooch Oberg finishing 12th in that 77 truck. Austin Pack in the 81 finished 13th. Had a good run going there early to mid-race. Just got caught up in one of those big wrecks there at the end. Harold Rothery in the 16 finished 14th. Terry Duguay in 15th. Alice Sunderman in 16th. Alex Healy 17th. Emmett Crow, our good friend from the broadcast booth in the 67 car, finished 18th. Chris Golden 19th. And rounding out your top 20, Joseph Phelps in the 57.
21st, we have the 8 truck of Benjamin Hollenball. 22nd, Yogi Schlier. Unfortunate event, leading most of your laps here tonight, finishing 23rd. The 36 truck of Stephen Luttrell. 24th, you have the 113 of Paul Dillon. 25th, the 66 of Byron Bartlett. And last but not least, 26th, the 54, dropping his phone, having a very unfortunate finish here, of Tyler Autry. Next up, we'll put some flyers up on the screen here. We have our race sponsorships for anybody at home, whether you have a business or whether you just want to sponsor a race yourself. We have different packages here with Full Ride Motorsports. You can sponsor the whole race. You can sponsor just the pole award, the green flag, the caution flag, white flag, and checkered flag. Or you can take the whole kit and caboodle and have a full race sponsorship with your name or your business name, whatever you would like to put down, with giving a little bit of incentive to our drivers here to win the pole for the big race. Out of qualifying, it'll give them $5, and $40 will go to the league bank. So if you're interested in sponsoring 4Wide Motorsports here, reach out to one of the admins and we can get you set up to get your name broadcasted out here during any race that you decide to pick, with whatever package you pick, and we can get you set up with that. Next, I want to give a shout out. We have all social platforms here with 4Wide Motorsports. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. Also, our league owner, Wayne Cannon, he's trying to set up over there. He's been streaming our Monster Jam sessions on Saturday nights on FWM TTV. He's also on Twitch under the same name. So be free to look out for those if you want to catch some Monster Jam action here with 4Wide Motorsports. We have that option also. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate anybody out there who supports 4Wide Motorsports here. It truly means a lot to everybody here in the league. Also, if you are a driver looking to race with us, we do have iRacing on Mondays and Fridays, NASCAR 25 on the PS5. Drivers of all skill are welcome here, but we do like to see clean and respectful fun racing. You can join the Discord and we can get you all set up with whatever you're looking to run, whether it be iRacing, NASCAR 25. We do have Monster Jam. I believe we have more stuff coming in as FWM here is growing rapidly and amazingly. We're very happy for 4Wide Motorsports here. So with that being said, for you viewers at home, if you're looking to drive, if you're looking to support, you have different options here. Landon, I want to shoot it back to you one last time tonight. What was your thoughts on the race here?
Oh, yeah. Well, first off, it's not often I get to come up here in the booth because usually I'm out there on the track racing. So, it's fun to come up here in the booth every now and then and be able to call these races alongside of you, Colton. But overall, I think the racing was really good. We had some long green flag runs there, especially at the start, and we were actually able to see some green flag pit stops come into play. So that's really what I was wanting to see out of that race. And of course, we had the fireworks there at the end. So I think the race had a lot of the stuff that viewers would want to see. Some long green flag runs, green flag pit stops. We had some cautions, some big wrecks with some pit stops under caution. And we had a late restart with some battling for the lead and some tempers flaring there at the end. So it was just a slam-packed race full of excitement. So just really glad that I got to be in the booth for this one and be able to call it alongside you, because I really thought it was a great race. And once again, we have another new guy coming in and able to win one of these races. We've seen it before from, I believe it was Caleb Sisk winning his first race. I think Daniel Michelle won his first race, and there may be another one that I'm missing, but now Bobby Hall Jr. Wins his first race. So it's a trend, and he's kept it going.
Yeah, I will say it is nice. Jumping up here, as you see, we have different roles here, jumping around with FWM. I don't want to end the show here with you, Landon. But I will say it was definitely a fun night calling this race with you. I think we flowed really well. I think we did a great job, especially with the show these guys put on here. You make some very good points. So I definitely had fun here, but I can't just give this show up yet, as we have one of our buddies that we're used to sitting next to on the virtual couch here in the booth, Emmett Crow, running the race here, joining in the truck series at Kansas Speedway here for the Long Way Chris 100. Emmett, how was your race here tonight?
Well, I like to think it was a roller coaster. I finally got the truck finally where I wanted it, because we were just so loose. I don't know what happened when I took 2 tires on the right side, and then I looked at my right side and it still said I had 69% on my right front. And I was like, how is it possible? But yeah, we ran a lot of good, ran up front, and I really thought we were going to get a top 10 there for a moment. But yeah, man, I got caught up and it just was over from there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I think I'll be in Michigan when we head over there in Brooklyn.
Well, I do want to ask, how was it, not sitting up here in the booth tonight and actually sitting in the seat and driving?
It was very interesting, and I had some issues that happened before, and a lot of guys like to tease me. But tonight, I got a little nervous because I was like, I don't want to mess up, but I got to push it at the same time. But just trying to get out of everybody's way, and we did a great job. I got to thank my guys at ECM. They gave me a hot rod. I just wish, dude, if we wouldn't have got involved, I shouldn't have used my fast repair with the wreck with Austin, which that was just a freak accident. And I mean, we had nowhere to go. And, I think if I would have had that fast repair, I could have got up there for that top 10. But all in all, man, great race, and it felt good to get back in the car. First race with FWM on iRacing, so I love these trucks. This is where I got my first top 10 in my debut back in the C class, so great to be back in the trucks for sure.
Well, Emmett, I do want to say, hey, we love having you up here in the booth, but it always is. It is nice to change out people and have some new people spreading on to spread their wings and try new things like I am here. Tonight being my first night lead announcing, hope I did well. I did my best. So it is nice really to see you out there racing. I want to say good job. I know we did some fun races. You had a little bit of trouble and we joked with you. I know Cannon was in YouTube chat over here. And I'm trying to find his comment here. He said, if we go 50 laps and Emmett ain't brought out a caution, that guy will need a shout out. And if you rewatch it, we did give you a shout out, buddy. So we also got Joshua Tressler here. He just commented, got to give Emmett a good old attaboy. Good run. So definitely a great race for you tonight for your first time jumping in with FWM here in the truck series. So congratulations, great job. With that being said, everybody can see here we have our sponsors and some shout outs. We have Studio 86 down here on the bottom of the screen. You can see Four Wide Motorsports on Twitter. Speaking of Emmett Crow, we have Crowfoot Hat Company. We also have Crowfoot Wraps on the sponsor list here and shout outs. So we want to give them a big thanks. Eastern Technical Design from our wonderful producer, making everything look good here, making us sound great on Four Wide Motorsports Network here. Tracy Brown, we really appreciate what you do here. You do your best. You do a great job switching the cameras around, switching drivers, finding the replays. We really appreciate it all. Great job to Tracy. Wayne Cannon, I want to thank you for putting on the league, and allowing me to be up here and allowing me to help admin in this league and make everything possible that I can help do in my power. Hunter Carlson, Stephen Luttrell, all these admins, you guys do a great job. Four Wide Motorsports is growing so much here and rapidly, more than we thought it would. So definitely good things happening here with Four Wide Motorsports. Landon, I want to thank you for jumping in tonight, helping me out to call this race. It was fun. It was great. Everybody, make sure you tune in. Catch us on all social platforms, but tune in Friday as we have. Yes.
I was gonna say, tell them we'll be on Leadfoot TV for the Gars opener tomorrow night.
Oh yes. Before I do put out our next races here, and before I end the night, we also are going to be over in the Gars Tour at Daytona tomorrow night. So something new for me. I only announced there once. Emmett, I think you've been there. So it's going to be a fun night. So you can catch us at Leadfoot Racing tomorrow night. Friday, we have the Four Wide Motorsports ARCA series at Michigan. And next Monday, we will have the Four Wide Late Model Stock Tour at Five Flag Speedway. So if you're looking for some more racing with Four Wide Motorsports here, with some of these drivers that run all the series here, don't forget to reach out and catch us on YouTube, and like and subscribe. We appreciate it. We have 9 people watching in here. Really appreciate our supporters. Tune in to those dates. Also tomorrow night, you can catch us announcing and broadcasting Gars Tour. With that being said, I want to wish everybody a wonderful night. Get a great night's sleep. From Four Wide Motorsports Network and Four Wide Motorsports, have a great night, everybody, and see you on the next one.